Sold MLS data on Propstream is back. Well, sorta, kinda. What's up YouTube, Matthew here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to explain the recent news of Propstream receiving their data back on sold MLS information. Essentially what happened earlier this year is that back in January, Propstream announced, especially to their affiliates, and affiliates let other people know that they lost their access to sold MLS data and failed listing. And since then, they've been working day in and day out to get that information back. And I think by them being connected with their parent company, because they were recently bought by a larger billion-dollar company, and just having connections with them and with different realtors, they were able to access the information back. But what they're claiming to have is an estimate of the sold data, of the sold MLS data with 99% accuracy, right? So it's not the actual amount, it's 99%, which I'm trying to understand more. So let's say you sold a house for $100,000, right? And Propstream is claiming they actually have that amount in their database. They have that record, but legally they can't share that it's sold for $100,000. And so they'll say an estimate of $100,000, $200, something like that. That's what I'm understanding it to be, the estimate, something like that. So they'll like multiply it by 0.9991 or something like that in order to give you an estimate and not actually share the actual amount for legal reasons. And so it's still pretty darn accurate to me. Like you can still base your comps off of that number, but maybe some people want an actual amount down to the penny. So that's where we're going to drill into Propstream, and I'm going to show you all a few examples of how to use this information, how to find this new information. And I'm also going to talk about like when you're receiving this information, because I've noticed that sometimes the third-party websites like a Propstream, a Deal Machine, a Batch Lead, sometimes it may take a while until I actually receive this information. And so we'll see like how fast, like now that they actually have this data back with them and they can share an estimate, be more readily available sooner for their users. And so if you all are interested in Propstream, be sure to check the link down below. With my link, you get a 7 free day trial. It just helps support this channel and everything like that. So before I share my screen with you all, I just want to share with you all my personal experience of receiving sold data and how fast I receive this information and which websites I usually trust for this information. So number one, the first place that I would find sold MLS data, and the fastest place, is of course through the MLS, right? Either talking to a realtor or getting access to the MLS, right? And I'm in a disclosure state, meaning that I can receive information about sold MLS data publicly without actually going to the MLS in the state of Tennessee. So that would be the first place. But let's say that's not available, or you don't have access to that. And sometimes I don't have access to that. And so actually the first place that I would find MLS data the fastest is actually like websites like Zillow, Realtor, Redfin. It's crazy, but like they seem to be way more on top of showing that information faster than public records and or these third-party websites. Like a Batch Leads, a Deal Machine, Propstream. The thing is, you know, it's not that much further. So like I would receive it like maybe a week or two after the property actually sold, and then a week later it will show up on the public record, and then a week later it will show up on Propstream. But now, since Propstream has that MLS data, they are able to receive and give out that information much faster than like a public record, and maybe faster than like a Zillow and Realtor. And I know this for me only counts for like MLS, like your traditional realtor data. Sometimes like if I look up data about a for sale by owner, I find the information on my county's website before I find it on Zillow, or I may find it there and then Propstream and then Zillow. So sometimes it doesn't have to be in that order, but I noticed for most cases, for most MLS data, that's been my experience. And I'll show you all an example of how that works and how that information showed up on one website before the other website. So right now I'm going to drill in, show you all that, and show you all how to find this sold MLS data estimate on Propstream. All right, you all. So now I'm on Zillow and we're looking at a sold comp that recently happened on the 31st, the last day of last month, May 31st, 2022. And so, like I said, this has usually been the order of when I received data. I would receive it first on these websites like Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor, because these websites actually do hold a license as like a realtor or whatnot, and so they have access to the MLS. And maybe Propstream has a license too, and so they have that direct access to show to people. So this is a disclosure state. So first of all, it can be shown the exact amount. And so here it's reading that it was sold on the 31st. It sold for $265. I go to my county's assessor's website. I type in this address. It still doesn't have this information, which I usually find. It usually comes out probably a week or two after I find it off of a Zillow website. And then usually it would take a few weeks until it showed up on Propstream or something like that, or it'll be like the same day it shows up on the public record, it will show up on Propstream. But now I'm looking at this same address on Propstream, and right here, this is where you have the estimate. All right, so it has the month. It doesn't have the exact date, but it has the month and the year, and it has the estimate. So you see the estimate is super close to the actual sell amount. The actual sell amount is $265, right? And this shows $264,690. Now, that's still a really great comp to use if you're rehabbing a property, wholesaling a property, fixing, flipping. So this is a perfect example of the updates that were made on Propstream, that not only do they have a good estimate, a good number, MLS estimate of the sold amount, they actually have it sooner than public record, right? And this can be very important for investors to have this information before it goes out to like a website, like your county website. And you never know. Sometimes it may show up here before it shows up on Zillow or Realtor. You know, I haven't seen that yet, and I just have to do more research to see if it's possible that it can show up here before these other websites. But it's crazy that it shows up around the same time or at the same time as these other websites and still not on the public record, right? So now in non-disclosure states, there's about 12 states that you cannot share that information, the exact amount or the exact date, but Propstream allows you to see this estimate, right? Which is close to 99, it has a 99% accuracy. So if you're in Texas and a property sold for $100,000 and you're trying to find this comp, Propstream will have this information. It may have it at $100,200 or maybe at $99,500, something like that, where you can use that information that you don't have on your public records because it's a non-disclosure state and you don't have it on Zillow and Redfin. That's where Propstream really takes the cake, takes the advantage in non-disclosure states because they have this estimate, right? And it works even well in disclosure states, right? Like where I live, where it's still not on the public record, but I can still use this comp, right? That's why there's nothing here, because usually they take the information directly from this website. But yeah, that's something interesting. So you can see MLS data. It shows that it was sold in May. It doesn't show the exact day, but you know, I mean, if it's within a month, that's cool. That's good. It's still a good comp. It has the estimate. So you say 264, 690, and actually sold for 265. What is that? Let's see if we can calculate the accuracy of that, because they said they're over 99%. So all I would do, honestly, is take that divided by 265. So 264, 690 divided by 265, and you have a 99.9% accuracy rate. So it's, yeah, legally they cannot give exactly the actual amount, but this is pretty accurate, right? And so if you go to the comp area part of Propstream, this is where more of this information can be shown. So like You see another MLS sold data right here. They're in the blue, MLS sold. That doesn't show up yet on the public record for a disclosure state. And you can switch if you only want to look at MLS sold data estimates that they have. And you see the amount they say EST over here, right? And in public record, this is the actual sell amount that shows up on everything, right? And you can have both like we have right here. And so yeah, so this is pretty darn, accurate, pretty close to the actual number. And it's great that Propstream has this information back, right? Because if an estimate is 99.99% accurate, I don't think no flipper will be complaining about that type of data, that type of accuracy, and complaining about not having 100%, right? So that's one thing. Another thing is that failed MLS data is totally back. So if you go to MLS status, they have failed MLS data, right? And they have the sold option. Before, over these past few months, these two options weren't there, right? And so now you have them back. So if you're a person going after failed MLS listings, going after homeowners who tried to sell a traditional way and they couldn't get it sold, then you have this part that you can go after. Yeah, and so let's just go over a few more questions, a few more things. I know they had their blog right here that talked about the different states that are non-disclosure. So here they are right here. Texas, Wyoming, Utah, some big states actually, and everything like that. What else? This is something interesting. While Propstream does once again have access to the MLS failed and sold data, we technically can't share with you the exact MLS prices due to MLS regulations about third-party access. And they claim that they are the only third-party real estate data provider that currently has nationwide access to this data, right? This is what Propstream is claiming, that they have this data even for non-disclosure states that they can give out an estimate out to with 99.9% accuracy, right? And so that really puts them apart for sure. Another thing is that this is the video that Burton put out about this change and where to find everything. I think something interesting is just looking at the questions and everything like that. And so, like, for example, in non-disclosure states, the sold price is just an estimate, correct? And then, yeah, they say in non-disclosure states, public record, which is an estimate, and our MLS sales data, which is an estimate at 99% accuracy or better. So it's the closest that you can get, right? And someone said, this sounds a little bit misleading when they say 99% accuracy. And then it says, Propstream, we actually do have the actual data, but due to MLS regulations, we're not allowed to show this data. And this guy was like, I feel like this algorithm is like MLS price times 0.991% estimate price, and I'm okay with that. Ha 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 ha, which is interesting. Some people, say that they're disappointed as a real estate professional. I cannot rely on an algorithm to give me sold price. It's kind of like this estimate on Zillow. There's no substitute for sold prices. And this is how Propstream replied. This is not a Zestimate, which is a home valuation model. MLS said sold data, just reiterating what they said. They actually have the exact amount, and they're just multiplying it by 99%. That's what it seems like. I don't know exactly how they're calculating. They just said algorithm, and maybe they can't share exactly the percentage and everything like that, but I just calculated it for you all, and they were pretty darn close to that actual amount. But yeah, let me know what you all think down below in the comments about having this data back. And once again, if you're all interested in Propstream, check the link down below. It really helps support this channel. All right, just wanted to post this video for you all to keep for you all to stay updated. All right.